An inspiration from the history unit my teacher covered during May. A deeply rooted world issue that I talked about before is a marriage controversy within the military family. After research and learning about this thing from both biased and unbiased sources, I find this controversy very interesting. Divides all across the political and personal spectrum. Out of the main issues, I mean, the first one named here is that the wife who cheats while her husband is gone on deployment. And let's say the husband's deployment here forces him to move constantly from place to place after 2 years. It might seem like a simple issue, like she cheated, and that's true. While that is true, I begin to understand a way more complex reality other than this. The first view I would say is directly from the husband, especially if he is from the military community. And not all husbands or wives are the same. The husband here, as I'd say, is a good man. But the main job contract he has for the military means, depending on what he chooses, his family, on deployment might have to relocate constantly just for where he's going. And the thing is that kind of blocks a woman from having like a village like those connections place, having deep roots in a certain community, whatever the husband is gone. The trap in that is pretty unique to what I say in this type of marriage, even though statistically it does say that divorce rates between non-military and military couples are pretty similar. But I think this trap here that I observed is pretty unique. Is that the thing is when one constantly relocates, whether it's the woman or a man, the amount of physical support the children and the wife or husband can have is kind of limited because you gotta constantly make new friends. You gotta find people you know. But the thing is that they might disappear once you move to. And over time, is that even if the woman or man who is staying is like resilient and maybe keeps people, they may not have other connections. And they may be forced to endure having to raise their given children alone. Like there's no assistance out there in the community constantly moving. They have to upgrade their position at a community. So after 10 years, having getting to know all the neighbors, for example, the wife might end up having, let's say, some random woman out there. When you constantly have to move, there's no chance for that rooting to happen at all. The thing is with that is that she has to raise them alone. Years and years that even in her prime, for example, raising children. Say that one day after all of that loneliness, they cheat. And obviously they give in partner. And to me, this is where the controversy gets very interesting because so many viewpoints radically when it comes to it. Christianity in classic theology views this as cheating no matter what, cause of infidelity, and it is what it is. Humanists and other system-oriented viewers will probably view it as cheating, yes, but what cause it is different than I would themselves to cheat because it's different than that. While other progressive and liberalists may say that this is absolutely breaking the contract, but they might blame the nature of military jobs that cause it in the first place. I know some do cite the industrial complex of military, almost primarily having to cause cases. And I find this cheating wife controversy in military culture very interesting because in biology, whether you're a man or a woman, even trans, the side thing about being in a marriage is, doing the dirty, having the S word. Thing is, with a military deployment, as I've repeated in that life, the man or woman is not there to do the dirty together. Now, the woman or man has to know what to do it with, and they end up having to raise kids at home. And let's say that they end up cheating. But then again, the person who's on duty is also earning money for that, but at the cost of not being able to be with them. But the thing is that they're given family that's not with them. They end up building a routine that's without them. So once a military person retires or eventually leaves out of activity, they expect to enter back into family, but they only realize that the routine did not accommodate them. Like, this is already something that's going on. The paradox here, guys, is that I find that the given woman or man is not satisfied emotionally, but they still take care of the kids. But the man or woman who's also in duty earns that money. They literally give stability to what that's where it gets really divided because imagine for a decade straight, one's one partner having to like move constantly in place, not staying in one location. So they have to reintroduce themselves and remake friends, and they don't get to stay in that same place and be career stable in a given community. I think, in my opinion, that creates tiny resentment as the years go on. If the military man is really going like for 20 years or over, it creates tiny resentment toward the military partner because they gotta sacrifice their own needs just to move. They have to sacrifice their own emotional needs that might require having stability and staying in the same place. And then something happens, divorce, cheating, because as a result. Conversely, now the given partner in the military has to face the fact that their own partner cheated on them, which is once they leave military, they have to now face a highly complex emotional reality where simple dichotomies may not make the final judgments in this. And I find it really sad. Society out there in the world often blurs the lines between both of these. One in the military, they're the one who's earning the money. But then again, the one who's raising all the kids in the family, they're not getting any emotional help. And that's the thing. I know there's like support groups and all, but if one is really looking for that intimate, true match, it cannot be created after or with other people. As for me, on my take on this, I do not agree on the given person for cheating, nor do I agree with the person who's directly in the military service, although I do salute their service at that same time. But each situation is different, so at the end, I would not have a universal stance on this unless I was given a specific one. Beyond this video and beyond this mini cover that I would do, the reality is maybe more industrially complex, or maybe completely different than what I said before. There's many factors to establish